So one of the most important buttons in this mouse pad for the embroidery machine is going to be the third one on the first row. This is what takes it in and out of embroidery status. So right now it is in embroidery status as it's not red. Click it again, this is enter, and now it's not. So the first button in the first row is basically rotating it. Once I click it, as you can see, the F is turning. So upside down is how you would want it for if you're embroidering a cap, for example, but you could do it any way. I'm just gonna leave it forward. This one is really important. This design management. It has a lot of buttons to choose from, which I will explain how once I show you how to get out of the design. And if you ever want to go back, you just put escape. And then the third button I already showed you. This one is self-explanatory. It's just making sure from a t-shirt to a cap, which if you want to embroider. This one is to trim, and it will essentially move the machine. So it just makes sure that everything's working properly. This one we don't use ever. So the first one on the third row, this one's pretty important too. This is your color order, and I will explain how and why we use it and how important this is in a later video, but it just shows you the colors for the threads back here. And finally, this one is just moving the needles AM automatic, but we usually just leave it alone. This one does nothing. This end does nothing. Okay, and another important one is this home button. So I will explain the steps and how we're gonna use it, but this one just makes sure that the design, that tracing it, so how big it's gonna be at the end of the day. And that's it, escape. And this one is just for more extra, like zooming in, rotating a design, which is mainly what we're gonna use it for, just rotating anything that we want to a certain degree, if it's not 180 or 270, and etc. And this is start, stop. This is our emergency stop. This is just for emergencies, but usually we just use stop if something goes wrong. And the start button is self-explanatory. You just start it. And this flash drive always has to be in here, as this is where it's gonna get its design to the machine. And I'll explain to you the buttons and the process we do to have the design from the USB into the mouse pad, keyboard, and then finally onto the shirt. Okay.